There is a fresh appeal this morning for Ukraine's European allies to take action against Russia and Vladimir Putin. Alexei Navalny's widow is making that call to the European Parliament. As you can see, Yulia Navalnaya was greeted with applause, a standing ovation, in fact, following her remarks that wrapped up just last hour. Like her late husband, Navalnaya is a democracy campaigner, and she is vowing to keep up his fight. Briar Stewart is in London. She was watching that as it played out before the European Parliament. Let's begin with Yulia Navalnaya's message about Vladimir Putin and the war on Ukraine. What did she say to those parliamentarians, Briar?
That's right, Heather. It was an emotional message. I mean, she only spoke to the Parliament for about 15 minutes. But before she took the floor, they actually played a video that was about 5 or 6 minutes that showed some of Alexei Navalny's work as an opposition politician, that showed him leading protests, trying to fight against Russian corruption. And you could see just in the footage that they had up there a lot of tears in people's eyes. And when Yulia stood up to talk to the Parliament, she talked about the memory of her husband, but she really kind of made a direct appeal to hold Vladimir Putin responsible. Take a listen.
Putin must answer for what he has done with my country. Putin must answer for what he has done to a neighboring peaceful country. And Putin must answer for everything he has done to Alexei.
And so that was her appeal. And she went on to talk to the European lawmakers, saying that what she wants them to do is to do more to crack down on Russian money that stems from the Kremlin, stems from Putin's allies that have been stashed in European bank accounts overseas. And she also urged the European Parliament to be supportive of the tens of millions of Russians who are against the war and against Putin's government. And of course, many of these people have fled Russia since the war began and are living in various places. And we do know that it has become harder for Russians to get visas to travel throughout Europe and really many places. And so she made a direct appeal to them to be supportive of these people, because they're allies that they will need if they want to take down Putin's regime.
So she was making her speech, Briar, just after news came out that there will be a public funeral for her husband on Friday in Moscow. What did she say about that?
That's right. And this funeral had been in the works for a few days. And what his allies had been saying is that it was very difficult for them to find a venue, because they would call up places like halls and churches. And as soon as the owners would hear the name Navalny, they would say no. Well, we do know that a funeral is planned now for Friday afternoon in Moscow. It will take place at a church. And here's what she had to say about just, the risk for people really to come, in public and pay their respects.
We spent a week getting Alexei's body and organizing funeral. Then I choose the cemetery and coffin. The funeral will take place the day after tomorrow. And I'm not sure yet whether it will be peaceful or whether police will arrest those who have come to say goodbye to my husband.
Navalny, his allies, and of course many Western officials have accused Putin and the Kremlin of being responsible for his death. And his allies have also said, they've suggested that Navalny was killed because, he could have been part of a prisoner swap that involved the U.S. and Germany. The Kremlin has denied, any knowledge of that, and there has been no official confirmation of those claims from U.S. or German officials.
Briar, thank you. And again, for this morning, looking ahead to Friday and our coverage to come then. Briar Stewart from London today.